This is Anthony Edwards, and this is Devin Booker. Both have had the spotlight on them since they entered the league, and that's mostly thanks to their insane scoring abilities and swagger on the court. Both NBA stars have had massive marketing campaigns for the release of their highly anticipated debut signature models. It's been years since there has been this much excitement about the release of an NBA star shoe. If you follow basketball, and definitely if you follow sneakers, you know that there's been quite a bit of buzz around the releases of these shoes. So in this video, we're going to be comparing the two and trying to figure out which NBA star had the best debut basketball shoe. After just 2 games on the floor, the Three Stripes courted the Minnesota Timberwolves frontman, signing a shoe deal that would put Anthony Edwards on a roster of some of Adidas basketball's finest. From a Nike-filled collegiate career, he departed from the swoosh throughout his rookie season, repping the signature sneakers of the likes of James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and Damian Lillard, where he registered his first 42-point career high in the Adidas Dame 7 against none other than Devin Booker in the opposing corner. Despite a fantastic rookie season, Ant and the Timberwolves would find themselves near the bottom of the standings. Edwards continued to give us glimpses of his greatness, giving teams hell with D'Angelo Russell in the backcourt and Karl Anthony Towns roaming the middle. At barely 20 years old, he posted a previous career high of 49 points in his sophomore year against the San Antonio Spurs. And he also recorded his first ever All-Star Weekend appearance where he donned a pair of some Adidas player exclusives called the At-Man. These were the BYW Select model, a playful take on his superhero-inspired alias. The Adidas Marvel collab was inspired by Stan Lee's 1962 comic book character, Ant-Man. The pair features black, scarlet, and iron metallic paneling similar to Ant-Man's costume. Equipped with light strike cushioning and a boost midsole that embraces Edwards' responsiveness for quick cuts to the rim. From his long history of repping other signature models, the Adidas BYW Select Ant-Man was the first product released related to Anthony Edwards, but it wasn't his signature model just yet. With 2 All-Star appearances under his belt, he still had a lot to prove before Adidas would make him the face of their basketball line. Enter the 2023-2024 season, where AE and the Wolves shocked the league. You won't find them straying at the bottom of the pack or fighting for postseason contention, as they sat comfortably at the top of the standings. And not only that, the Wolves acquired Rudy Gobert in a massive trade with the Utah Jazz, making them one of the most feared teams in the paint that season. They went on to clinch the first seed in the West prior to the All-Star break with a 39-16 record, with Anthony Edwards making a name for himself as one of the brightest stars of the league. Adidas knew that they had to capitalize on Ant's rapid rise and rushed to create him a signature shoe, the Adidas AE1. According to Patrick Sempolik, lead designer on the Adidas AE1, Ant's otherworldly athleticism blew him away when he ran a performance test with him during the research phase.
He was testing off the charts compared to some of our other athletes, both vertically and laterally. So that led us to then designing these kind of precision TPU injected panels that could really hold his foot, yet still be, flexible enough and not hinder like his very intense, precise movements on court.
Ant first provided us a glimpse of his Adidas AE1 during Media Day through the New Wave colorway. The first colorway for the AE1, which seemed fitting because it kind of complements the colors of the Timberwolves. The shoe features innovative dual density foam cushioning that makes the best of light strike and boost technology. Probably the most striking design element is, of course, the honeycomb-shaped TPU piece that covers the side of the shoe. And while it looks stunning visually, it's actually for utility and a big piece of the design that helps contain Ant's high level of play. To market the shoe, Adidas and Ant released an ad that feels iconic right off the bat.
They said I got a little buzz going. Most of y'all still don't know who I am. I'm Anthony Edwards, aka Ant-Man, aka Young Black King, aka Mr. Manifestation, aka can't ain't even in my vocabulary. So when they said you couldn't make a hoop shoe, I said, I'm gonna make the best hoop shoe of all time. It don't matter what we playing. In my AE1s, you can catch it on the hardwood, on the sticks, blacktop, in the pool, in the yard, ice, at the lanes, clay, it don't matter. This ain't no regular shoe. It's a cheat code, built for my game to make yours even better. You still need proof? You don't believe? I don't believe in anything but myself. Believe that.
They debuted the shoe in the With Love colorway, which is a tribute to his mom and grandma's favorite colors. Not to be confused with the Atlanta Peach colorway, which is clearly a nod to his home state of Georgia. Thanks to the massive success of these two pairs, Adidas kicked their production into high gear and began releasing many colorways of the shoe. March of 2024 welcomed a chrome-like finish of the pair that Anthony Edwards wore during All-Star Weekend. The colorway sweeps through dark hues of metallic burgundy, black, and lime green. It is a sight to behold. Beautiful shoe. There's the Velocity Blue colorway, which pays homage to the Timberwolves' early days, and the most recent release, the Adidas AE1 Stormtrooper, which is so very Adidas, paying homage to the OG Stormtrooper colorway, which they did with the Kobe 1 back in the day. Speaking of back in the day, Adidas partnered exclusively with Foot Locker to reminisce on Edwards' high school playing days by celebrating his McDonald's All-American game, averaging 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists for Terrell High School as a senior. The Adidas AE1 McDonald's All-American looks back at his upbringing with the mismatched white, blue, and red perfectly highlighting the Golden Arches branding on the heel and the pull tab. Personally, my favorite pair of the Anthony Edwards shoe is the peach colorway. It's seared into my mind. Because of this insane play right here.
Another turnover for Utah. Edwards gets it back and threw it down!
All right, let's give John Collins a brief moment of silence. Only time is going to tell what kind of crazy antics and milestones we're going to see from Anthony Edwards in these shoes. So the playoffs are coming up, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be dropping tons of colorways, so be on the lookout. What took Nike so long to give Devin Booker his own shoe? He's an electric basketball player with a certain type of star power and swagger that makes him a perfect candidate for an iconic sneaker line. It was as if Nike was a perfect fit for him from the get-go. The former SEC Sixth Man of the Year signed a deal with the brand during his rookie season, which then flourished into a near decade-long contract, securing Devin Booker as one of the brand's most important athletes. In the early years of Book's partnership with the swoosh, they had Book laced up in all kinds of player-exclusive Kobes. Even casual fans of basketball know that Devin is a massive Kobe fan. Be legendary. The advice that Kobe had left me with in the short time I got to spend with him in our last game playing against each other. He left it with a mark on my shoe and he wrote it out. Be legendary. Alright, before we cover Book's Nike signature silhouette, let's talk about his sneaker journey so far. Throughout his 4 years in the league, he tried out several of the best Nike basketball had to offer. He would don high and low top versions of the Nike Hyperdunk 2016, the pair he dropped 70 against the Boston Celtics in, and the Nike Hyperdunk 2017. He even took Virgil Abloh's off-white version of the shoe for a spin against the Los Angeles Lakers. As an NBA superstar, Devin has immediate access to some of the most coveted pairs of basketball shoes, but despite this, he chose to keep it legendary and rock Kobe's almost every single game. First up is the Kobe AD Mid PE. It features a dope purple upper, but the coolest part of the design is the images of Devin Booker and Kobe Bryant on the side on the swoosh logo. The sneaker celebrates both Devin and Kobe at the same time, so it's pretty unique actually. During the 2018 All-Star Game, he emerged victorious, holding up the three-point contest trophy, rocking the orange camo undefeated and Nike Zoom Kobe 1 PE. And at the time, setting a record for the most points scored in a single round during a three-point contest. My favorite from his Kobe PEs is this Kobe 6 that has this sunset gradient on the upper. Remember his game winner against the Mavs 3 years ago? He drained a tough contested three with these on foot. Phoenix, Arizona and sunsets are probably the prime influences when it comes to the Kobe PEs that he had on feet. More recently, sneaker god and NBA vet PJ Tucker gifted Devin his Ukraine Nike Kobe 6 PE as a tribute to his professional playing days in the European nation. Perhaps one of the most iconic moments of his career came in a pair of Kobe's while he was laid out on the floor after hitting the game winner over Paul George, Kawhi Leonard with the Nike Kobe 5 Proto Suns PE on feet. And from the countless highlights in PEs, Nike finally booked him, pun intended. Nike tapped Benjamin Netanyahu to head the design. They took inspiration from Devin's love of collecting classic cars, and if you look at the shoe, it looks like a classic Nike shoe right off the bat. When the public first caught a glimpse of the silhouette, a lot of people were saying how it looked just like the Air Force One. But if you understand the inspiration behind it more, it makes sense. They wanted this to look like a classic Nike shoe. The challenge with that is classic means outdated basketball technology. But don't get it twisted. Ben and the design team at Nike Basketball made sure the shoe was up to spec.
You think about the shoe here, it looks like a piece of history from Nike, but under the hood or under all the covers, it's fully teched out with the latest and greatest innovation.
The shoe features full-length Cushlon and a Zoom airbag in the heel for additional cushioning. But the most standout feature of the Nike Book 1 is definitely the materials, catering especially to aficionados of the 90s and early footwear aesthetics, basketball footwear aesthetics, of course. Remember, they were going for a classic look here. The silhouette features high-quality nubuck and leather to give it a more premium feel in hand, and Nike also made sure to prioritize durability with these materials. I haven't got my hands on a pair yet, but from what I hear, they're pretty light. Alright, let's talk about the rollout for the sneaker, because it was one of the biggest sneaker moments of this year. He teased the shoes during open runs before the season even started, but we wouldn't see official photos until much later and closer to the actual release date. I know Nike has a way of keeping the releases exclusive, but the way they did this just turned heads, and maybe not for the right reasons. The clay orange ice peach pair was limited to 500, with Kevin Durant, PJ Tucker, DJ Khaled, Drake, and others receiving theirs ahead of the wave. There wasn't much left for the rest of us. It was seeded to lucky participants on the Nike Sneakers app, but the thing was, you'd have to claim the pair in store at LeBron James's unknown Miami. Yes, Miami, not Phoenix. This drove the internet crazy, with many wishing to get their hands on them. Maybe it was because it dropped during Art Basel and they wanted the sneaker to have more of a collector's vibe, but I don't know, I'm not sure. 2 months later, after an exchange with the Complex Sneakers show in Reebok, Devin responded to the Complex Sneakers Instagram saying that he feels the same way about people judging his signature shoe, with many unable to get a pair. The storytelling process was also something that Joe and the gang critiqued, with many of his PEs paying tribute to iconic sneakers like the Air Max 95 Neon, the shattered backboards, the Air Jordan 1 Metallic Purple, and even the Nike Cortez, the Forrest Gump, which is all good fun, but it doesn't say anything about Devin's story or personality. What do you guys think? The more I learn about the shoe, the more I feel like it's a nod to his personality. There's actually all kinds of personal touches on this silhouette. They drew inspiration from the concept of resto mod cars, vintage cars that have been restored and updated with modern parts and technology. This is reflected in the design philosophy. The silhouette appears classic on the outside, but includes modern performance and features internally. The heel tab on the shoe is designed to resemble the spine of a book, a pretty on-the-nose nod to his last name. Inside the shoe, details like a family crest and a custom Nike swoosh designed by Booker himself add a unique personal touch. So I would say that the shoe has some pretty cool personality to it. Now, looking at the releases, the Mirage colorway was the first to be made available to the general public. Again, that classic feel here. This is a colorway that you see on classic silhouettes, not the vibrant modern basketball shoes that we're used to seeing on the hardwood today. They also did a V2 of the colorway, which is darker and is inspired by the desert sky, a nod to Arizona probably. This next one has to be my favorite D-Book one, the Premium Height colorway. It has this dope reptilian print on the shoe and looks very luxurious. The shoe was apparently inspired by Devin Booker's love for hiking, but it gives more luxury vibes to me personally. I don't know. It doesn't really seem too inspired by hiking. The most recent general release for this shoe is a tribute to Devin's dog named Haven. He's a big cane corso with beautiful black hair, and the sneaker is obviously equipped with a stylish black upper that pays homage to his dog. Alright, so now that we've done our research on both Anthony Edwards and Devin Booker, who do you think had the best silhouette? Right now, I feel like I'm going to give it to Ant. I feel like he's had iconic moments in the silhouette already. That dunk on John Collins, those unique ads he released with Adidas, I feel like it's all around just classic without trying too hard. The Nike Book one is fire, don't get me wrong, I will be getting a pair. But Anthony Edwards and Adidas nailed it with this one, and I think it's safe to say that this one goes to Ant. But let's get a conversation going in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.